In a world where meeting like-minded goofballs for heady amant noise and free gob slobber sessions is punishable by instantly transmissible death, experimental musicians are unable to indulge in the promiscuous audio adventures and collaboration that they've become accustomed to. And so, a dearth of new weird sounds leaves pub basement patrons across the globe thirsting for their favourite real out sonic tipples. The dreamers behind the Giant Tank label seek to end the freakdom's famine by uniting disparate lunks through the medium of unconscious overdubs and drunken prattle. If the ongoing pandemic has caused you to miss the incestuous and interchangeable in-the-flesh inter-scene improvisations that the no-audience underground frequently throws up, then perhaps you're ready for...
Can I play it?
Official, it's real. It's
So,
happening.
welcome to the pilot episode
Off.
Blind Japes. There you go. Now you ken what it is, right?
I should I know? Or
No, you shouldn't know. That's
Greg sounds like he's in a stadium. He's got like
Yeah.
a very fancy
do I?
microphone.
Yeah.
I haven't got an external mic.
Ali, yeah, he sent a list of demands
Right.
that I needed
got the
a
same
light
message, Sue.
I
just
know.
substituted
and I needed a
time.
mic.
You
Microphone.
needed to dress up.
Do I need to? Yeah, I told him I'm not doing that.
Well, you look lovely.
Well, thank you. Likewise.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm dressed.
Ali looks
Is
it
there a
sound
Mrs.
too-
Greg Kelly?
Hey?
Allie's Mrs. Greg Kelly.
I was thinking about what's kind of got to me through all the various lockdowns and what's driven me up the wall, or just what I'm missing. Because the truth is, when the first one came in, people were all, oh God, oh no. And I was like, what, I have to stay in my house with like my books and my records and that? No fucking problem. And if anything, like I felt like it took the anxiety away of having to have like human interactions. Nothing was expected of you. You could just fucking scuzz about in your house. And in fact, aren't we all just going to shit ourselves when they turn around and say, right, back to work next week? We're all going to be like, what the fuck? So that's not been massively negative for me, anyway. Obviously, loads of people will be isolated to fuck and it'll be awful for them. But I think the thing that I missed, and I wondered if it might be similar for loads of folk from our like goofy wee experimental music circles, and every year I just meet new folk all the time just from going to gigs, and I just bump into them and you, oh, who's this? Oh, this is my mate so and so. Oh, hi, your mate so and so. And then you hit it off, and then like a couple of weeks down the line you've got a new band together or something, you know? And like, I'm really missing that. But Gregory, Susan, Gregory.
Nice to meet you, Greg.
Nice to meet you as well.
Oh, so you can hit it off. You can have like a duo together now and shit.
Well,
Well, apparently we do.
yeah.
Hey,
Well, you kind
actually,
of
I
do.
just wanted to check. It is Susan Fitzpatrick in the house tonight, and not Joyce Whitchurch?
Well, I prefer to go under the name Joyce Witchett for all of my my performance related work now.
Yeah.
I'm actually wondering about changing my name completely to that full time for everything.
Yeah.
Because like it turns out that there's a woman called Suzanne Fitzpatrick, I think, and she's based in Scotland. She's like an academic who writes about like housing and homelessness. And I was getting like I sort of didn't get invited, but I asked these people who were doing this conference in Paris a couple of years ago if I could come and do a paper. And this guy wrote back to me and he was like, oh, absolutely. I read all of your stuff when I was writing my PhD. I think it's a great honor. And I was like, yeah, I'm not that Susan Fitzpatrick. Can I still come? And he was like, sure, yeah, you can come, yeah. The thought process from that moment was like, well, what would I change my name to? Would I just do a slight a slight alteration of my existing name, or would I go for a completely different name?
Greg, you've got another Greg Kelly, haven't you?
There's a couple.
Yeah.
Maybe 15 years ago, it seemed like I kind of had the market on the Greg Kellys, but yeah, I've been beat out the last 5 years.
That happens.
Yeah.
But for this other Fitzpatrick, oftentimes people use just the middle initial.
I don't have a middle name, but that's where I've been like, do I go for that thing of like saying X? Because that's what I'd like to do, but I don't. Is that wrong? Would that be like Susan X Fitzpatrick? Does that sound? I don't know. That makes me sound a bit, because there are so many tosspots in academia. You don't want to be lumped in with them. What about S Joyce Fitzpatrick? You know, like M Night Shyamalan. M Night Shyamalan.
That's my vote.
Shyamalan.
Yeah.
M Night Shyamalan. I would be S Joyce. S Joyce Fitzpatrick. S Joyce. I quite like that. S Joyce.
S Joyce.
I love the situation at a show where you're with a friend, another friend's on stage, the friend on stage is doing a terrible job, you're talking shit about them, and then they walk off stage and immediately it's great set.
Oh God. Oh God.
I have a friend who played a show. After the set, they came up and they said, well, they can't all be winners. And I thought, oh, that's weird. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know why they didn't like it. And then years later, they said, oh, I haven't seen you since that show in Baltimore. That was so great. And I said, I thought you didn't like that. Why did you think I didn't like it? Because you said they can't all be winners. And, oh, that's just what you say amongst friends because you get tired of saying how great each other are. And I was like, didn't know that.
I mean,
so for years, I'd been harboring this.
Do you miss playing live? Like at the moment, do you get to play live at the moment, actually, in the States?
No. I did one outdoor show in a park, which just felt weird. It's just your friends are around you in a circle in masks.
I'm doing this one.
But yeah, no, I definitely miss it. But I miss the experience. I mean, the show was usually, 1/4 of the interest of an evening. So I miss that aspect.
Yeah. And I think like what Ali was saying before about like the whole being shit scared to go back and be a normal person again and talk to people again and stuff, like the idea of going back and actually doing something on stage, that doesn't feel half as scary as like actually just having a normal conversation with a person that you know well.
Yeah, totally.
Like I really look forward to anything like that. But like any experience that I've had recently of trying to talk to people, I've realized that I'm out of fucking like practice. I usually end up saying something that's like afterwards I just think, oh, that was a bit, that could have been interpreted in a really bad way and I shouldn't have said that. Like there's not been many Zoom calls, that's for sure, because I just don't like it. It all totally makes it feel like way more real that you're not seeing people and you're not going to see them and stuff.
Ali whistling.
You hate any whistling. Your mother's the same.
I'm not
as well,
massively
like.
keen on what do you call that whistle that you do? The other one.
Know.
The
inwards whistle.
The inwards whistle.
So, whistle on a tune. Then I run out of puff and I go. That was sacrifice.
Yeah. You gotta do the inward whistle. I've got a whistling story. It's quite a current one, quite a recent one.
Why not?
Sounds great.
We're on a bus. We were going to big Sainsbury's supermarket, big big Sainsbury's there.
Bigger than
And,
big Tesco and Gateshead.
Been to the Tesco in Gateshead many times, but I haven't
That's the
been
biggest
there
Tesco, haven't you?
you know, since this whole thing started. And I'll tell you right now that if somebody was to offer me a trip to the Gateshead in Tesco, to the Gateshead in Tesco, to the
That's
to the
how
Tesco,
big it is. Like,
to the Tesco in Gateshead, I'd be as excited about doing that as if somebody said, yeah, you're going to Florence, you're going to New York.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be across the Tyne. I haven't seen the Tyne for a year. I don't even feel like I'm living in Newcastle anymore. No, this is big Sainsbury's in High Heaton. And we were getting the bus back there, and it was just me and the kids. And the bus, it was just me and Kay, Ray, and another chap as a passenger. But the bus driver was singing, he was whistling. And he was whistling in the bus driver way, lots of trill, lots of kind of effects. And I was like, what is that he's whistling? And it took me about half the journey to realize that it was Gold by Spandau Ballet. But what was brilliant about it was that there was this other thing coming in, and it was Kay. He'd started to kind of do this low down drone. And I was like, this is fucking fantastic, but there's no way of recording it and stuff. And maybe the bus engine might have got in the way of the recording anyway, but it was the kind of like quite almost like a nervous sounding whistle from the bus driver, and he was doing the thing of, you know, going repeating the kind of chorus, I guess.
yeah.
And like,
Washington State, I worked in an office with 6 people, and one woman unintentionally whistled a lot. And so because I'm a jerk, I just pointed it out, and she said, "But I only do it when I'm happy."
That's what Ali
So
said.
then there's nothing you can do about it. I can't then say, don't, stop being happy. Or,
yeah, you're being happy is making me unhappy.
Collect.
it's tough predicament.
Yeah, that's office
My
life
mum.
for you, isn't it? In a nutshell.
My mum,
Yeah, pretty much.
dislikes whistling as well and tells my dad not to whistle, to the point where she's done it in supermarkets, and she just automatically does it. She thinks it's my dad. So they were in Tesco, and they were going around Tesco, and she was like, "Stop that whistling!" And she turned round, and it was another man, and his wife said, "Dad." Because she was just like.
But one thing about shows that we were talking about before is I realized how many relationships I have with people that they're not close friends, but there's a lot of random people that you talk to, that you see regularly, that, especially moving. So I'll never see some of these people again. I'm not connected with them on social media. I might not even know their last name. I just know if I went to a certain type of show, I'd see this person, we'd shoot the shit. I would probably tell them certain more personal things than I would my actual friends, because they have doesn't matter to them. And those relationships I miss.
Yeah.
And some of them someone would say, "Oh, I saw you talking to so-and-so." And I was like, "Oh, is that their name?" I never knew.
Yeah.
I see them once a month for the past 6 years, and I have no idea what their last name is. I don't know what their job is. But yeah, I've had the thing. For me, everything's been it's COVID. Whenever I have, so a couple of times, probably after we had our 10-hour birthday Zoom.
Wait, is this going to go on for 10 hours?
No,
I think it might have been.
But I think after something like that, where I realized I didn't eat any food, I didn't drink any water, all I did is drink whiskey and beer, and then you wake up the next day and you feel dehydrated. You're just like, it's COVID. And then you realize, oh no, it's probably, this one's probably not COVID.
Yeah, it's COVID. It sounds.
Well, since we do have this limited time frame, I will say it's been a pleasure to speak. I was very paranoid about it. I was actually a little angry. just because I didn't know what was happening, and I don't know. In social
Yeah,
interactions
I
are
had, if
so
not
weird now.
angry feelings. I had slightly like, oh God, what's it gonna be?
Yeah,
Those
I
kind
would
of
probably a
feelings.
mix. I don't think anger was part of it, probably, but
How should I sell it to future participants?
Tell them what the hell's going on for a start off, and
yeah, that's yeah. Just and from the get go too, because it was a 2-part. Please send some 12 minutes of material, and then that for me was kind of a hurdle. And I did it, and I was like, holy shit, I accomplished something incredible. And then you get this other thing. Oh, by the way, now there's a second part. It's like, give me a break. And it's been great. And I knew it
But
would
yeah,
be.
that's the thing,
That's why I
luckily.
submitted to it, because I trust you, but I did have a lot of anxiety over it.
Gregory has to go. There's somebody.
I heard that.
at the door.
So I'd like to say, lovely to meet you, Greg, and I'd like to say, let's do this again.
Well, this is the thing. It's that kind of show, so we need to know. Are you guys going to jam again in the future?
It's a
I would be
distinct
so excited
possibility.
to do that.
Yeah, it's been great talking to you.
Only if you're doing DIY do you need to moisturize. Don't moisturize unless you're doing your DIY.